So this is the artificial concrete here on the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun in Visoka, Bosnia. And you can see this, I just bought this tool, and that is how thick the first layer of concrete is on this pyramid. There are many layers, and they alternate with clay or they stack on one another. So there's either layers of concrete in a row, or it goes concrete, clay, concrete. The clay, of course, is to keep the structure flexible in case of earthquakes. And it's a great material for that. It's also sound insulation, temperature insulation, and it's also a great binder. And Dr. Semir Osmanagic, who discovered the pyramids here in Bosnia in April 2005, has found through 6 different scientific institutes in different countries that the clay here in Bosnia was used as a binding material for the concrete. So they heated up the clay to 900 degrees Fahrenheit, and they made this incredibly dense, incredibly durable concrete here on the Pyramid of the Sun and other structures around the complex. And the highest rating we have so far for the hardness of the concrete is 133 megapascals, and that is much harder than modern day concretes. So this is the old excavation here, and the newest excavation just this summer, 2015, is this this slab area here, and this thing is very, very thick. And how thick is it? Well, there's my foot. So let's see if we can get a feel for that. That is my foot, and that's about a right angle. So we're talking about, let's see, we're talking about that far. I don't know how far that is, but that's that's a thick piece of concrete, and that is not the thickest. Thicker ones are down there. So they have these slabs, and then they have a little bit of space in between them. They like a little space in between their slabs. Why? I do not know. But you can see a little tree got in there, but it couldn't survive because it can't get past the concrete below this concrete, because they're smart. They don't want trees wrecking their pyramids. So that's another slab that's been uncovered in summer, June and July 2015. That's another slab, and this is a beautiful slab here. And they're not precious about their slabs because they're not meant to be seen. So they look different. They're a little knobby, you know. They're not perfectly square. They have had these covered with clay. You can see the excavation of the clay. I'll just give you a shot of it over here. You can see how much clay there is above, that was laid down above the concrete. So for instance, there's a slab right there, and you can see it goes under the clay. Concrete continues under the clay, and then there's the dirt that's the soil, the darker part that's accumulated over the years. But the clay was laid down on top of the concrete, so none of this was ever meant to be seen. It's just structural concrete, extremely dense, extremely hard, meant to last. Why do they want the pyramid to last so long? We build our structures and we say, well, we want them to last, but really we don't care that much because our concrete is going to crumble in 100 or 200 years. The bridges have to be redone all the time. We don't heat up the clay. We could. We don't, though. So we get 60, 70, 80 maximum megapascals. They have 133 at the highest rating here. But I'm sure that the megapascals of this concrete in Bosnia, here in the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, goes even higher. Because what we tested was concrete nearer to the surface, which has over 34,000 estimated years here, has softened the concrete. The winter rains. So incredibly hard concrete. You will not get through it with any hand tool, and the biggest digger in Bosnia could not get through the last half a meter or so of concrete that it did try to dig through. So they had to go try to find a bigger digger in another country to bring a big mechanical digger here with that blade that it's like a a jackhammer blade, but it's big, really big, and it's run by a pneumatic machine, like a backhoe, but with a pneumatic device that jams it into the concrete over and over really fast, and it couldn't get through it. Big machine, but they needed a bigger machine to get through it. We didn't get the machine, so because these things are expensive to bring in, and we just didn't have the money, so we didn't get through the concrete where we were digging through it with a mechanical digger. We have footage of that if you look for I think it's called super dense concrete. Just Google super dense concrete on YouTube, or mechanical excavation of super dense concrete. I think that's what it's called, with Sarah Akanci, who was the lead archaeologist at that time in 2011. So we're gonna sing the praises of the volunteers who were nice enough to come here and dig through all this, and they're gonna dig here as well. So they've been taking out the foliage there. You can see the let's see, is that, yeah, you can see they're cutting down that so that they can start to dig in there, and they're going to take this out, so we'll have even a wider swath of concrete for the tourists and scientists to see. This is one of the very few sites on the pyramid that the government allows us to dig, allows the Archaeological Park Foundation to dig on. 70% of the land of the pyramid is government, 30% is private. Of the 70%, virtually all of it is protected, has been protected with approximately 100 regulations or laws in the last 10 years that the government keeps adding on to keep the foundation from doing archaeological work here. The government has been back and forth on what the project should be doing here. Sometimes it's been in favor of the project on the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun and the other pyramids. Sometimes it's been against the foundation. For the last 2.5 years, the mayor has been against the foundation, so we have another 1.5 years to go until she's out, and then hopefully we'll get a mayor that understands that human history is at stake here in the Bosnian Pyramid Complex. This is Jock Doubleday reporting for the Archaeological Park Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun Foundation, a Bosnian NGO nonprofit here in Visoko, Bosnia. The nonprofit is based in Sarajevo, but most of the work is done here in Visoko. Have a scientific day.